away his mother, who was sobbing. With a painful heart, his mother prayed to God.
God, if he is truly my son Malin Kundang, I curse him to turn to stone.
Instantly, a rumble of thunder was heard, even though it was sunny. Slowly, Malin felt something strange happening. He felt his body stiffen. He was confused.
Oh, what's wrong with my body? I can't move. Oh no!
Malin Kundang realized he'd been cursed as he knelt on the ground. He knelt on the ground and immediately turned to stone. It was too late to him to regret disobeying his mother. His last thought was how much he regretted disobeying his mother as he turned to stone.
Hello everyone, welcome to my video. So my name is Wayan Wina Juniantari and you can call me Wina. So in this video, I wanted to tell you about narrative text. So I have played a video for you before. It's about what? About what? Yes, correct. About the legends of Malin Kundang. I think all of you is already know about this story because this story is very popular. Now, I wanted to ask to you, what is the type of text the legend of Malin Kundang? Do you know? Do you know? Yes, correct. The answer is narrative text. So, in this video, I wanted to tell you about narrative text. Check it out. Okay everyone, let's start with the definition of narrative text. So as you can see behind me, there are definition of narrative text. So, you can read first. Okay? Finish? Okay. So narrative text is used to retell or recount a sequence event that happened in the past. So, as the video before about the legend of Malin Kundang, is happened in the past, yeah, what long time ago, and then we retell again now in this situation. So it's called by narrative text. But not only the narrative text is about legends, but there are many types of narrative text. Do you want to know? I think I'll see you again next slide. Okay, so what is the type of narrative text? Okay, let's start with the first type is this one. Yes, the legends, like the video before, is about the legend, the type of narrative text. As for example, like before, legend of Malin Kundang, the legend of Sang Kuryang, the legend of Crying Stone, and the others. There are many types of a legend that is categorized as narrative text. Okay, the second one, this one, that is fable. So fable is the story that is similar, like we tell about something that happened before, like the legends. But the difference is if the fable is use animals as actors. Different like before, Malin Kundang is a human, like a human or a person, like a name Malin Kundang and name Manedobaya and the others. But in fable is use animals as actors. The animals sometimes called by his real name, for example, like hi dog, hi cat, and the others. Or there are some name that made by the creator or the writer. For example, the cat name Kitty, or maybe the dog name Sandy, and the others. So the fable and the legend is different because the actor that used in fable is animals And in the legend, the actor or the actress is used a human or a person. So that is the differences. The next type is fairy tales. So fairy tales is also something that happened in the past, but it mostly about the magical or something that or story that happened because the imagination of the writer. For example, the fairy tales is like Cinderella or maybe Rapunzel that is not happen in the real life, and also it contains something that is magical. For example, have a magic that can curse anyone, that can help anyone, or that can give anyone gift or the others. So that is the fairy tales. And the next is the short story. Okay, short story means like some story that we made by ourselves, but it's short, like maybe our experiences, or maybe sometime that we have achievement before, or maybe we wanted to tell that we have holiday in Yogyakarta, and we wanted to tell the story or the experiences. It's named the short story, and it's also narrative text. And the last is this one, that is biography or autobiography. It's similar. Biography, it is someone that tells about biography or someone else. But autobiography is someone that write his or her or themselves story in the autobiography. For example, like when we wanted to tell about our hero, for example, Insinyur Soekarno, so we will write, its name is our biography, because we write his biography. But if Insinyur Soekarno tell his self by himself, so it's named autobiography. Okay, that's all about the types. So what is the next? Let's move. Okay, now we will talk about the purpose or the functions of narrative text. So as you can see, there are two main purposes of narrative text. The first one is education, and the second one is entertain. So first one is education. Why narrative text is called have purpose to education is because some story or some narrative text is almost of them have a moral value inside. So from the moral value, readers can read the story and get a moral value to their education. For example, like the legend of Malin Kundang has the moral value that we as a son or as a daughter, as a child of our parents, must love our parents and cannot be arrogant to our parents. And for example, in fable, fairy tales is Hansel and Gretel have a moral value that we must solve the problem that happened by ourselves. And the second one is about the entertain. Why it's called entertain? Because you know that I also love to read a story or maybe watch a story that is narrative text, because it has something that interesting and also fun things that we can read from the story. Okay, that's all about the purpose. So what is the next? Okay, now let's talk about what is the structures of narrative text. So maybe if you wanted to write a narrative text or maybe want to identify a narrative text, you must know that there are three structures of narrative text, as you can see in my slide. Yeah, the first one is orientation. So, if this orientation, you can tell about the common information that maybe you must tell that in that story. For example, like the place or the time it happened, or maybe who is the actors and what is the characteristic of the actors and the others. The second one is the complication or the conflict. This part is the conflict exists in this story. For example, when they have a problem, when they have something to do, or when they in a disasters and the others. So that is the conflict part. And the last is about the resolution. Resolution is like the solutions of the problem that happen. For example, when they have a problem, how they solve it, name a resolution. Seems like the fairy tales Hansel and Gretel. So it starts from we tell the author is the Hansel and Gretel, who is them and where they live and how is the character of them. And after that, there are a conflict when they is hungry and they went to forest, and after that they made a problem there, and how the resolution they get until they can come back home. And it's because they think, or they smart to think how to solve her problem. So that is the structure. And if you wanted to read, you must see that your structures is already correct, because it's the formal structure of the narrative text. Seems like if you wanted to tell about your experience, tell the common information first. After that, what conflict that maybe you face and how you solve your problem. Okay, so let's get next to one more slide. Let's go. Now let's talk about the language features of narrative text. So as you can see in my slide, there are 4 main language features of narrative text. Let's start with the first language features is using past tense. Why we must use past tense? Because narrative text is talk about or tell about something that happened in the past. For example, like she went to the forest. We use went, not we use go, because it already passed. So the sentence will be she went to the forest, or maybe she played with her friend, or maybe he made a cup of coffee, and the others. So we use past tense as language features of the narrative text. The second one is use adverb of time. Why use adverb of time? Because we wanted to tell when that happened or when that story happened. The common adverb of time that used in narrative text is once upon a time, or maybe a long time ago, a long years ago, 2 years ago, or the others. So we will use the past adverb time. The third one is we use pronoun, because in this narrative text we will talk about someone or maybe something. It's will be repeated, so we must change it with noun. For example, Malin Kundang live in Sumatra, and he is a man that very diligent, and we always use pronoun to change the name or maybe the main name that we cannot to say it again and again or with repetition. And the last language features is use adjective. So in the narrative text, it's almost the text talk about the characteristics. So we need adjective to tell the characteristic. For example, she is diligent, he is very cruel, or maybe he is so lazy. And okay, that's all about materials of narrative text. And now I will ask you to try to answer 5 multiple choice about narrative text to identify narrative text and to know are you understand or know about narrative text. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Hello, are you finished? So, this is the key answers of your work before. So, you can see first. Are you correct or no? Okay. You can check first and maybe you can check what is actually the correct answers if you are wrong. And you can learn again and try to answer one more time to get a perfect scores. Okay, next. Okay guys, that's all about the narrative text. You already heard about what is the definitions, what is type, and then what is the function, what is the structure, what is the language features, and you already finished your exercise before. I think that's all about narrative text that I can tell to you, and I hope that this video can help you to know more about narrative text. And I do apologize if there is any mistakes of my explanation, and I hope that I can see you later in my next video. Bye bye.